Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week. The Earth is home to about 1.2 million known species of living creatures, and millions more that are unknown. We have yet to discover the majority of life in the remotest corners, in the deepest oceans, and in enclosed spaces where light does not reach. From the microscopic bacteria that live secluded in underwater volcanoes to the colossal African elephants that loom large in subtropical forests, animals exhibit mind-blowing variety in shape, habitat, behavior, and so much more. Among them, some are ordinary and familiar to humans, such as cats and crows, while others are so strange it's hard to believe they even exist. 10 strangest creatures recently discovered. Number 1. Loureedia Phoenix. The Loureedia Phoenix makes a striking first impression with a highly unusual appearance. Unlike any other spider you have seen, we can only imagine the scare you'd get if you encountered one, since this is one of the most bizarre spiders in existence. It's a new spider species that was discovered in Iran only in 2020, categorized as a velvet spider. The black, red, and white color scheme closely resembles the iconic Joker's bizarre makeup, which you definitely have seen. In fact, the resemblance is so apparent that researchers named it Phoenix as a homage to the Joker's actor Joaquin Phoenix. According to the authors of the study, where new spiders were reported, they are endemic to Iran, collected from the type locality in Alborz Province, with photographic records in Tehran, Fars, and Kerman provinces, northern and south-central Iran. No females of this species have been seen yet, but the researchers said that tracking a wandering male could lead to a female. Number 2. Hammer-headed bat. A huge bat with the head of a puppy, the hammer-headed bat is the stuff of nightmares. It was discovered in the mid-19th century, with its most distinctive feature being the oversized and elongated head. Despite being the largest bat species in Africa, with wingspans ranging up to 90 centimeters or 3 feet, it is able to fly. The scientific name of this species is Hypsignathus monstrosus, an apt name for a bat with a monstrous appearance. They are also asymptomatically infected with Ebola virus, so don't let curiosity get the better of you and approach them. These bats are sexually dimorphic, which means the males and females greatly differ in appearance. Only the males of this species have the unique head, and for good reason. The disproportionate head has massive resonating chambers which amplify vocalizations, and the vocal calls are used to attract females. The hammer-headed bat is found widely in West and Central Africa, where they eat mostly figs and other fruits, and hence are considered crop pests. Number 3. Goblin shark. Sharks are known to be intimidating, but among them, the goblin shark takes things a step further. The goblin shark undoubtedly has one of the eeriest and deadliest looks. Its snout is unusually extended and flat like a blade, but it's not the snout that is used to kill prey. Rather, the snout is peppered with sensors that detect the faintest signs of potential food. When it does lock on a target, it has a literally jaw-dropping way of capturing the prey. The jaw protrudes instantly near smaller fishes, almost to the end of the snout, and prevents their escape. As dangerous as this shark is, you don't need to worry about falling into its ever-relentless jaws, since it dwells thousands of feet under the sea. Although it was discovered pretty recently, just around the beginning of the 20th century, it has been roaming the ocean for some 125 million years. It comes from such an ancient family of Mitsucorinidae that it is sometimes called a living fossil. At 3.65 meters or 12 feet long and 208 kilograms or 460 pounds heavy, they are quite larger than humans, but nowhere near the size of oceanic titans. Number 4. Blobfish. This creature couldn't have a more descriptive name. It's a fish that looks like a blob. In other words, it looks nothing like the fish we normally see. It looks as if a fish has deformed into a plump slime resembling a depressed face with a downturned grin and a fat, protruding nose. It won the title of the world's ugliest animal by popular vote. But in its defense, it's heavily misunderstood. The gelatinous and bulbous look is a result of decompression damages when brought to the surface. After all, they are adapted to live deep under the sea, where the pressure is 100 times greater than at sea level. In their natural habitat, they look far more normal. Unlike most bony fishes, it does not have a swim bladder that would allow it to control buoyancy. But that's fine, because it just waits for crustaceans to come into their mouth at the bottom of the ocean. The third of a meter long or foot-long fish can be found in the deep waters of Australia, Tasmania, and New Zealand, where they are dwindling in number. Number 5. Peacock mantis shrimp. The peacock mantis shrimp earns its name by having the blue and green colors of a peacock on the male exoskeleton, with a body that looks like a mashup of mantis and shrimp. The combination is certain to take people by surprise and looks more like an artist's render than a real animal, but it has been found in the flesh in the warm waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, clearing any doubts. Regardless, it looks beautiful, with a shell like a stunning kaleidoscope of green, orange, blue, and red. Some saltwater aquarists even keep peacock mantis shrimp in captivity. But beware, it can break ordinary glass tanks with a punch. That's rather unexpected from a mere animal 5 to 18 centimeters or 2 to 7 inches long. How it's able to whip out its club-like front legs at speeds of 23 meters per second or 75 feet per second without them cracking apart is a matter of great interest to researchers. For context, that's about the same speed as the trajectory of a .22 caliber bullet. Researchers at UC Riverside and Purdue University are already building materials based on the design of the shrimp's claw. Number 6. Pink see-through Fantasia. The pink see-through Fantasia is a sea cucumber that was unknown to humans until 2007. It has a very exotic appearance, which is reflected in its name. It is a translucent shade of pink that allows you to see its innards from the outside. That's not where its strangeness ends. It can also be bioluminescent, meaning it can produce light from within. They use the light to alarm potential predators. The Fantasia feeds by filtering nutrients from sediments on the bottom, and while most sea cucumbers stay on the ocean floor, this one can swim. It uses a wing-like collar around its mouth to swim up into the water. It may use that ability to move to a new feeding ground or to escape danger too. They can be found all over the globe in many different regions. They spend most of their time in the water column, touching down on the seafloor only to eat. This animal is also known by a far less appealing name, headless chicken monster. Number 7. Yeti crab. Officially named Kiwa hirsuta, this crab is almost unbelievable. The most prominent feature of the crab is the dense, silky blonde hair on its claws and legs. Its namesake is none other than the fabled yeti, which this crab closely resembles in color and hairiness. This species was discovered in 2005, and not much has been found out about it ever since. They inhabit hydrothermal vents deep beneath the ocean, and their body features might have something to do with the hot habitat. The animal has strongly reduced eyes that lack pigment and is thought to be blind. The hairy pincers contain filamentous bacteria, which the creature may use to detoxify poisonous minerals from the water emitted by the hydrothermal vents where it lives. There is some evidence that the crab harvests bacteria, its main source of food, on its hairs. Number 8. White margin stargazer. The white margin stargazer is a fish that we still don't know a lot about. A member of the stargazer family, named for having eyes on top of their head, this fish also has a large upwards-facing mouth, which allows it to bury itself in the sand and lie in wait for unsuspecting prey. In addition to being bizarre, its face is also terrifying. It has bulbous eyes and a lot of teeth. Its color camouflages it effectively against the sandy ocean floor. The white margin stargazer can lunge at its prey so fast it creates a vacuum in the water that helps suck the fish, crab, or other small creature towards its gaping maw. But it has even more tricks up its sleeve. It has a venomous spine running along each shoulder blade that can inflict a deadly wound on its prey or help to defend it against larger predators. They can also inflict an electric shock using modified muscle cells called electroplaques that can produce a 50-volt shock. Number 9. Flying squirrels. The flying squirrels are basically the ninja counterparts of the regular squirrels. Though they are from the squirrel family, they distinguish themselves from other variants by having a parachute-like membrane that stretches from wrist to ankle. Technically speaking, they don't fly, but rather glide. They are capable of obtaining lift within the course of those flights, with flights recorded to 90 meters or 300 feet. Their long tails provide stability in flight. Anatomically, they are very similar to other squirrels, with a number of adaptations to suit their lifestyle. Their limb bones are longer and their hand bones, foot bones, and distal vertebrae are shorter. Flying squirrels are able to steer and exert control over their glide path with their limbs and tail. They use their aerial abilities to evade predators, including arboreal snakes. Number 10. Neopalpa Donald Trump Eye. Does the name ring a bell? You guessed it right! This moth was named after Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States of America. It was described in 2017 by Iranian-Canadian scientist Vazirek Nazari. The scientist named it as such partly because of the semblance of its blonde head scales to Donald Trump's hair, and partly to bring public attention to the protection of habitats of undescribed species. We're not sure what Trump thinks of this honor, but the moth is a pretty cool one. This moth lives in a habitat that spans Southern California and Mexico's Baja California. While the body is similar to other moths, it stands out by sporting a pompadour of yellowish-white scales. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for watching. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these two videos on your screen. See you there.